Welcome, this is Tim from BleevIn, and in this video I'll show you how to assemble the 6-bay GPU miner case V3C by Veddha Precision Creative. This excellent open-air GPU miner case is sturdy, lightweight, stackable, and allows for the addition of 5 case fans for outstanding ventilation. Veddha also makes an 8 GPU variant of this miner case, and it is well worth taking a look if you want to set up a higher density rig. The box that your miner case comes in should contain these parts. I already removed the paper wrapping from the metal bars. I have also peeled off the brown film that were covering the 2 transparent acrylic boards. Here, I separated the part into 2 piles. The pile on the right side are for putting extra case fans on your miner case. The extra case fans help cool the graphic cards, but they are optional. My own rig runs fine without extra fans. The miner case I have here is the classic edition, and it has blue plastic fittings for installing the fans. Veddha also makes a deluxe version of this miner case, and it uses aluminum bars in place of these plastic parts for better looks and easier installation. But putting on the fans is a topic to be covered in another video, so for now, we'll put the fan parts aside. Notice that there are 2 types of similar looking screws, one type being slightly shorter than the other. The shorter type is for assembling the case, and the longer ones are for putting on the fans. Another thing to note is that the screw holes on the bars are not symmetric. When you put a screw through a bar, you have to make sure the screw go in from the side with the counterboard, so that it can go in flush. To start off, lay the bars flat on the ground. Pay attention to similar looking parts. For example, among these 3 bars, one of them is different from the others. Take some time to lay out the bars. The next step is to screw the bars together, starting with these 3 flat sections. They will make up the bottom and sides of your miner case. Next, bolt the 2 sides together with a long bar. Now, we have to start working with the shorter screws that I talked about earlier. The short screws are used with the silver T-nuts, and here's an example of how they work together. First, a silver nut is partially fastened onto a screw. It is fastened for only about 2 turns, not all the way. And then, when the nut is placed into the groove of the bar and the screw is turned, the nut will turn 90 degrees and lock in place. Now that we know how the screw and nut work, we now need to take 4 of these corner braces and put 2 pairs of screw and nut on them like I just described. Not completely fastened, just fastened for about 2 turns. Now, flip the bottom section over and fasten the 4 corner braces onto the 4 ends of the bottom section. Then, you'll have to join the bottom section with the 2 sides. But before you do, check again that you have the bottom section oriented the right way. When you're done, your case should look like this. Now, the long flat bar also needs these corner braces. This time, you only need 1 pair of screw and nut per corner brace. Then, you fasten the corner brace onto the long flat bar with screws. Then, you will have to fasten this flat bar to the rest of the case, with the small screw holes oriented closer to the inside of the case. You'll have to take a graphic card and roughly measure where along the groove to fasten this flat bar. The acrylic boards also need to have screw and nut. Put 2 pairs on the smaller board, 3 pairs on the bigger board. Using the small silver screws, fasten the hard drive onto the smaller acrylic board. Then put the acrylic board onto the case as shown. The large acrylic board is for fitting an ATX power supply. Use the thumb screws to secure your power supply to the acrylic board, like so. Your motherboard will go on the case with the external ports on the same side as the long flat bar. To allow the motherboard to be screwed onto the case, you need to put the brass stand-off screws on the bottom bars of the case in the places that will fit the screw holes on your motherboard. If you have a full ATX motherboard, you should have 9 screw holes. Use the small silver screws to secure the motherboard. Put the graphic card, like so, on the case and secure it with the silver screws. Lastly, put the end caps on the 8 corners of the case and your case is done and ready to go. For more tips, mining supplies, go to our website, BleevIn. Thank you for watching, happy mining, and keep believing.